we give an incision usually 2 to 3 centimeters above the clavicle in a skin crease. In females, we can give the incision a little higher up so that with age the scar does not come down to the level of the clavicles. We raise a subplatysmal flap. The platysma is usually absent in the midline, so we should look for the platysma a little laterally. Then comes the strap muscles. We usually incise these strap muscles in the midline. There is an avascular fascia connecting the strap muscles of both sides. The first comes the sternohyoid and then sternothyroid. In cases where the gland is quite big or we need better access, we can divide the strap muscles, and when we do that, we should do that little higher up, because the ansa cervicalis, which is the nerve supply of these strap muscles, it comes a little inferior. There are various techniques of doing thyroidectomy. Various surgeons prefer various ways. The commonest of them is to look for the middle thyroid vein. First of all, it is usually present on the lateral aspect. There are other veins also. There is a fourth vein of Cocker which sometimes is present, and we should look for it, because otherwise it causes troublesome bleeding. Coming to the superior pole, earlier it was said that you ligate the superior pole close to the gland, and that will save the external branch of the superior laryngeal nerve. But these days the way is to look for the superior laryngeal nerve, and once you identify it, then you can definitely save it. So we try to find this nerve in the Joul's triangle, which is formed by the upper lobe of the thyroid along with its the superior polar vessels laterally. In the midline there is a midline itself. Superiorly, the attachment of the sternothyroid to the oblique line of the thyroid cartilage makes the other angle of this triangle. On the base of this triangle lies the cricothyroid muscle. The superior laryngeal nerve travels medially over this muscle. So there have been so many classifications of the way this superior laryngeal nerve enters the larynx, traversing the superior pole. The most common classification that we use is the Cernia classification, which says that the type 1 is a nerve when crosses 1 centimeter above the margin of the superior thyroid pole, and 2A is when it crosses within 1 centimeter of the superior thyroid pole, and 2B is the nerve crosses the superior thyroid pedicle below the margin of the superior thyroid pole. And because of these variations, it is important to try and identify the superior laryngeal nerve rather than just assuming that when you ligate the pole close to the gland, then it is safe. There are other classifications also. This Friedman classification, which talks about the relationship of the superior laryngeal nerve with the inferior constrictor muscle. The type 1 is when the whole this nerve